Hello, everybody. This is Alan Devlin with Atlanta News First, bringing you some top stories for this fine Tuesday, the last day of February. And it was actually a hot one, too. So if you're expecting colder temperatures in March, we've got Patrick Pete coming up here a little bit later to talk to you about our weather forecast moving forward. I want to jump directly into some breaking news that we just got into the newsroom. We've been reporting on this story all day. So we have learned that a gentleman by the name of Kaiser Suggs was originally arrested on murder charges here in Fulton County. Moved to in Clayton County, then moved to Fulton County, where he got his charges. Actually, he was moved on different charges, I should say. And once he got to the new jail after being moved on those different charges, that gentleman was accidentally released from jail, even though you're not supposed to get released or given bond when you are in jail on murder charges. So what happened there? The police office really doesn't know. The sheriff's office is unsure of exactly how this mistake happened, but it did. This gentleman's been out since November, Mr. Suggs, and we've just learned today that he turned himself back in after police made that call and said Clayton County Sheriff's Office messed up and that we should not have let him go, and that he should have never been on the streets to roam freely anyway. Like I said, Mr. Suggs has turned himself back into the Fulton County Sheriff's Office where he is right now. We just got that confirmed in the last 15 to 20 minutes, and he's no longer on the street. Originally, he was deemed to be armed and dangerous, and so it is a good thing that he is no longer free. He will then go through the normal justice system, and we will continue to work to learn exactly how a accused murderer is able to walk out of prison after getting separate charges dropped in a different jail. So that's just the breaking news we have right now. We'll have much more of that coming up at 9 o'clock, and I'm sure we'll have updated information, the latest for you at that point as well. The second thing I want to talk to you guys about tonight is going down in the new upcoming Atlanta Police Training Facility that we've been talking about for months and months now. It's kind of a give and take, back and forth, forever giving story where always something else is changing. So we learned today that the city is going to be updating and promoting a task force safety training team that's going to be basically hearing the public's comment, hearing the public's concerns, and listening and hopefully churning out a final product that is beneficial to both the city and addresses those concerns that so many people have. This has been a back and forth for a long time, especially things kind of reached a peak when a protester was shot and killed by Georgia State Patrol. Georgia State Patrol says that protester opened fire. This is them. You just saw them on your screen right there. And so since then, it's been continued heightened tensions with this training facility. So with this task force, the city is hoping that they can listen to those who are concerned and get all that information and then make decisions moving forward based on the public opinion. That's what they want more of. Some critics are calling it a PR stunt. We're going to have to wait and see exactly how effective it is, but the city is instituting that moving forward. The third thing, for anybody living in Gwinnett County, Gwinnett Place Mall has been a staple in the area for almost 40 years, over 40 years actually, the 80s up until 2020. It closed back in 2019, right before the pandemic, and now there is a new effort to try and revitalize that mall. They've got a new proposal coming down that will put a whole lot of money into making that mall once again up and running. It's been dilapidated and abandoned since 2019, a little bit before the pandemic. This new plan that's being discussed right now as we speak is a proposal that will hopefully go forward with boosting more money back into that mall and bringing it back to what it once was. You ask anybody under the age of 15, they probably do not know what a Sears is. This is the kind of mall that had all those departments, those big box stores that we continue to see rolled back as things like Amazon and other online shopping centers take over. And this, again, an ongoing situation that's been happening across the country. Gwinnett Place Mall is no exception. It's just one of those areas that, you don't get enough foot traffic these days. You're going to have a little bit of difficulty when it comes to continuing to invite people into your mall. I do most of my shopping online these days. I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. If you can find it online, why spend gas and money driving into these malls and these shopping centers? The only thing I won't buy online is clothes. I prefer to try on clothes in person, and that's usually the go-to for me. Another story I want to talk to you guys about today happened near Clark Atlanta University in downtown. A person was shot and killed right near the Catholic Student Center, which is the student center there right near Clark Atlanta University. This was during school hours, and it was around 1:30, I believe. We got the word that a gentleman had been shot and killed. We do not have an ID on that person at this time, and we do not know the circumstances of that shooting either. And so it is an interesting situation. We're continuing to work to learn more about, and once we get some more information, we'll be sure to let you know. Yasmina Alston is out there right now working on this story, and it is something we'll continue to cover. She'll have more of that coming up at 9, 10, and 11 on ANF as well. Last thing I want to go through with you guys is an interesting situation happening down in Mableton. You know, they just became a city. They're working on getting their city council and their mayor together, but they're having a lot of issues when it comes to keeping candidates on the ballot and running a smooth election. Atlanta News First reporter Rebecca Schramm has more details on that. I'm going to let her break it down for you guys.
It was too late to change the ballots because they had already been printed, so they had to put up signs like this one letting everybody know that Ricky Dickens, one of the city council candidates, has withdrawn from the race. He only had one opponent, so Deborah Herndon will be the presumed winner for District 6. Turnout is slow. They maybe had a few dozen people show up on day one of early voting yesterday, but remember, there are more than 3 weeks of early voting leading up to Election Day, March 21st. Ricky Dickens is the 4th candidate here in Mableton to either withdraw from running or be disqualified because their checks for the qualifying fee bounced. Residents of this area voted in November to become a city. Mableton is now the largest city in Cobb County. Its boundaries include what were unincorporated areas between Austell and Smyrna. We spoke with one woman who was proud to cast her ballot for mayor and city council, even though she voted against cityhood back in the November election.
I raised 4 kids here, buried 2 kids here, so this is my home. And I'm going to do whatever I can to make it a better place.
I'm at the Mabel House Arts Center. This is one of 2 early voting locations as residents of Mableton pick their inaugural leaders. We have a ton of information, including who the candidates are, on our website and our Atlanta News First app. In Mableton, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
All right, so hopefully they can get that kind of squared away in the time being. It's been a mess for a long while now, and so we're going to have to wait and see what Mableton can do. As you heard Rebecca say right there, that they don't have a lot of time to make this happen. They've only got about 3 more weeks of voting left to go, so hopefully the town of Mableton can get things together, get some quality candidates, and make it happen. So right now, I'm going to turn it over to Patrick Pete, as I said I was going to. It was unseasonably warm today, which I'm not complaining about. I'll be honest, Patrick. It's been a pretty warm February, one of the warmest on record, right?
Absolutely. I think we're the 2nd warmest February on record. We spent 24 days above the seasonal average, so it was a very warm month. And of course, in a month like this, we actually broke today's actual high temperature record for the day. That record was 79. We hit 80. So very unseasonably warm across the region. I don't know about you, but I enjoyed riding around with my windows down today. And we're going to be tracking temperatures that are going to remain unseasonably warm for the next 5 days. Some days are going to be better than others. Tomorrow, we're going to be tracking more clouds around, so do not expect the gorgeous views that you saw today. And then as we head towards Thursday and Friday, we're tracking 2 first alerts. And that Thursday first alert is actually going to start very early Thursday morning for the northwestern corner of the state. We're talking 2, 3 a.m. Some storms are going to start to push into that area, some of which could be strong and severe. So we'll get through that. And then a cold front's going to slide through Friday. That's going to bring another chance for strong storms as we head into the late morning, early afternoon. And then we'll eventually see temperatures dip into the 60s, which is where they should be this time of year. We'll hang out a little bit cooler Sunday at 65 degrees. But let's get you through the next couple of hours and then get you through the next couple of days. Temperatures are in the upper 60s right now, and it feels fantastic out there. Going to continue to see those numbers unseasonably warm through the overnight hours. But we're looking ahead to tomorrow. Once again, this first alert severe outlook is for Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. through Thursday morning at 7 a.m. But we're really focusing on that midnight to 7 a.m. early Thursday for the chance of some strong storms. You can see that's a level 1 out of 5 for the areas that are north and west of Atlanta, the areas that you see highlighted there. The day itself is actually not going to be bad. We're talking about tracking mostly cloudy skies for the bulk of your Wednesday. And then we'll see a couple of spotty showers trickle in as we head into the afternoon. And then that rain chance will get to about 20 to 30% as we head into the afternoon. What's up, Michael and Max? Hopefully you guys are having a good night. Here's a look at that rain increasing as we head into the late hours. So the rain chances will increase 9, 10, 11, and then unfortunately we'll see those stronger storms build in. So if you're planning your day for tomorrow, expect for it to be very similar to today minus the sunshine. We're going to see more clouds out there, and temperatures are going to climb into the mid to upper 70s. I think we'll top out somewhere around 77 degrees around the 3 o'clock hour, and then those spotty showers will move in and help cool us down a little bit. Now, I showed you that first graphic that was the severe outlook for Wednesday at 7 a.m. to Thursday at 7 a.m. This is for the rest of the day on Thursday, and the Storm Prediction Center has extreme western Georgia under an elevated risk for strong to severe storms. That's going to be a level 2 out of 5. It's called, we call that a slight risk, but it's a level 2 out of 5, so it's up from the marginal. And then you can see that green highlighting that level 1 out of 5. Once again, damaging wind, heavy rain, and we cannot rule out an isolated tornado with these cells that are going to be pushing through the area. So let's get you through the early morning risk. That northwestern corner that you saw shaded there, that's those showers and storms moving in roughly between 1:30, 2 o'clock through 3 o'clock. And then we'll see it sort of weaken as it sinks further south. But as we head into the afternoon, we'll see that potential for more strong storms to fire up in western Georgia, which is why there is that risk for strong storms through the afternoon and through the evening. And then Friday is the day that we're watching the closest. I mean, first alert starting early Thursday morning, another one for Friday. The cold front is going to eventually push through on Friday. And I don't know if you've paid attention and kind of like dissected weather. I know there's some weather enthusiasts on the line, but normally when there's a cold front sliding in, you normally get a little bit of instability ahead of it, depending on how strong it is and the dynamics that are, at play here. Meanwhile, here's where that front starts to approach the area. We're talking about the late morning, early afternoon, somewhere between 11:30 and around 1. We'll start to see that impacting our extreme western part of the state. And you can see that's a cohesive line of showers and storms. So I think most of you will at least see rain, but embedded in that line will be some strong wind. And unfortunately, we can't rule out the chance of any severe weather modes with that. Storm Prediction Center already putting us under that 15% chance of seeing some severe storms for Friday. So reasons to download the First Alert Weather app, because you're going to get a pinpoint forecast where you are. It's going to tell you when there's heavy rain where you are. It's going to tell you when there's lightning detecting where you are. And it's also going to alert you to any of the warnings that we'll be tracking as we head through the next few days with these multiple systems that'll be pushing through the area. So good plug, good opportunity for you to download that app. And here's the rest of that forecast. First alerting Thursday and Friday for those storms, and then clearing out as we head into the weekend. Listen, I thoroughly enjoy getting out of the house on Saturday and Sunday, and Mother Nature is going to be very agreeable for the afternoon. I do think the mornings, especially Sunday morning, is going to be a little bit chilly, but I think that we'll be able to manage with the 60s in the afternoon, and then temperatures will trend back towards the 70s as we head back to work next week. So you guys know the drill. Let me drop this banner so that you can see those morning lows. Soak it in and make your plans for the weekend. Make sure that you enjoy the dry time that we have earlier on tomorrow before those showers move in, and then eventually those thunderstorms build in for the overnight hours. And then we're going to be dealing with a soggy couple of days. And widespread rain totals 1 to 2 inches, especially north of Atlanta, where we see some training of those storms in the extreme northwestern corner of the state. We'll be watching for that as well. Meanwhile, I will leave you to this, and I will prepare the forecast with meteorologist Fred Campagna for our 9 o'clock show. And then, of course, we'll be on at 10 and 11 as well. So y'all have a good evening and a happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday.